Well, greetings and salutations everybody. We're at it again. The Perpetually Outraged are out yet again. I often wonder what keeps people going if they're so interested in picking up very small amounts of society. On the other hand, here am I complaining about them doing that. And there goes the phone. I may well have to come back in just a moment. Okay, well that was a phone call, and now can I get back to where I was and be my outraged self. I do get drowned off with people picking on little things in life and then carrying on because they're particularly interested in having a shot at men in general. In any case, I'd like to read something from one of my favourite publications, the thing that I really hate to love or love to hate, The Age, an absolute rag in my view. I'll be very sad if it does go under, which inevitably it's going to, because it brings me so much perverse pleasure in reading the nonsense that goes on in there, particularly in the opinion pages, which is the area that I read most, and particularly the letters to the editor. I must remember to look in the camera, mustn't I, instead of at the screen up there. This is not so bright. In any case, now I'd like to read a letter from The Age today, which is about Friday, the 19th of May 2017, entitled Wouldn't It Be Lovely? Oh, lovely, actually. Should have been lovely if I'd have been a subby. It was a bittersweet experience when I attended the My Fair Lady extravaganza. Not a musical, by the way, it's an extravaganza. 60 years ago, I delighted in this play, so this is obviously not a chicken who's written this letter, but on Wednesday I felt decidedly uncomfortable. Whoa. Nostalgia gave way to anger. Anger from My Fair Lady. From the opening scene when Professor Higgins pummeled Eliza with his verbal abuse. Others in the audience groaned their disapproval. Throughout the 3 hours of, quote, entertainment, unquote, murmurs of discomfort rippled throughout the theatre as Higgins continued bullying his pupil. I was glad to read Cameron Woodhead's critique, quote, sporadically entertaining exercise and nostalgia in The Age of the 18th of the 5th. Calling out, oh, it's a wonderful phrase we use these days, calling out Higgins on his misogynistic behaviour. Let us not forget that as we sing along with outdated lyrics and drool over the stunning costumes, given society's enlightenment as to the trauma suffered by women at the hands of men who still hold patriarchal attitudes. Quote, wouldn't it be lovely, I wish you'd say lovely is the phrase of the show, wouldn't it be lovely, unquote, if we could put this fair lady into the theatrical archives and leave her there. Signed by Robin McCarthy of Ormond. Well, Robin, I would simply like to say, what are you going to do about Pygmalion? What are you going to do about the Shakespeare plays that are still shown quite regularly? What about some of the Greek Homer and all of the ancient writings that perhaps still reflect patriarchy? What are we going to do about the shows of the 20s, 30s and 40s that still reflected society as it was? You know, in spite of your enlightened views, in another 50 years, your views will still be looked on as outdated, and there'll be the bleeding heart people then saying, how could we have thought that way? God knows what they'll be on about, but you can guarantee that they will simply not accept what you think as being correct anymore in the future. We need to just accept that society has been in the past the way that it was. We should enjoy what's there. What we see from Professor Higgins is a reflection of a significant number, I would imagine, of men of that era, and a probably not insignificant number, unfortunately, of the men in today's era. But let us not simply not enjoy what in fact is wonderful music, wonderful extravaganza, and a wonderful show because of the need to feel perpetually outraged about any minor point. How on earth can you? I mean, I assume that this person is now, what she says, 60 years ago she delighted in it, so she's 70 plus, or give or take a bit. How can you still continue on with the attitude that you have of looking for problems instead of simply enjoying the music, enjoying the show, and not trying to interpret the whole of the show in terms of what you perceive as modern day society requirements? It's just so sad. I really feel sad for you. I'm going to see My Fair Lady, in fact, in about 2 weeks' time. I'm really looking forward to it. I do think that the Regent Theatre is not a perfect place for it. It is simply too big. This was mentioned in the Age. I would have much preferred to be at the Princess or Her Majesty's, but I'm going to enjoy it, and you can guarantee I'm not going to be sitting there saying, how can he treat a woman in this way? Dear, dear, it's a show. It was written in the 60s. It's still an amusing show, and it still has wonderful music to it. I'm sorry you didn't enjoy the show, but the reason you didn't enjoy the show was not the show, it was you. Now, normally if I had my other camera on, my other webcam, I'd have steam coming out of my ears, but unfortunately this particular program that I use doesn't have it. So there we go, that's my thought on My Fair Lady, and personally I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to enjoy it. And that's enough of my rant for the moment. We'll see what else upsets me in the next few days, but guaranteed there'll be something in the Age. It always does. It's a delight to read. It's like having lost a filling in your tooth. You can't help sucking on it. And that's it. Bye for now.